Hey, it's Joel Walsman, and I'm back. That's right, in Michigan with the same inspector. More problems. Let me tell you what's going on, show you what I did, talk about what I think the code says, the UL listing 2703, and the ETL certification, and then you tell me at the end of this whether you think I'm gonna pass or fail. Now, just because I'm from Indiana, I don't get to see many seagulls, but I don't think that's like Michigan. Thankfully today, it's not hailing. There are no tornadoes. It is 94 degrees, but we're gonna get it knocked out. What are we doing? Supplemental grounding for the IronRidge ground mount installation. There's a fundamental difference. On page 9 of the installation manual, it shows a minimum number 10 grounding connection, which we have. Here it is. And the fact that all the racking components, these guys right here and these rails right here, have a UL listing 2703 bonding them together. In addition to that, the inspector's referencing the National Electrical Code and requiring a supplemental grounding electrode. In fact, 2 with a continuous connection and an irreversible crimp to the number 10 ground. So here we go. So let me ask you this, Peer Advisory Council, you'll see that this page of the installation manual has the UL listing and the ETL certification. Then scrolling on down, you'll see that the entire structural system is electrically bonded together. That's a UL 2703 compliant electrical bond. You'll notice here that the earth screws are not identified as a grounding electrode conductor, but simply as being bonded entirely with the structural system. In addition, you'll notice that there is a indication here that a grounding connection is required. That note at the top right says a number 10 minimum. My thought is this: if that was a supplemental grounding electrode, then 2 things would be true. 1, this would be a number 8 minimum conductor, which it is 10. And second, it would give clear indication of yet another grounding connection, which is the number 10 we have currently to the array. So I am reading between the lines here a little bit. I did contact the manufacturer. IronRidge was extremely responsive by telephone, and they said that's outside of our jurisdiction. We really can't speak to that. Whatever the inspector says goes, which ultimately is the truth. Whatever the inspector says goes, period. A-H-J. That A stands for authority. So, what do you think? Timestamp, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm on the warpath of education. 6-gauge solid, grounding electrode number 1, continuous and uninterrupted. To grounding electrode number 2, still continuous. Up the post. Here we go. Irreversible crimp, it's number 10, bonded to structure. You won't believe this. A thunderstorm has come up unexpectedly, and you can hear the thunder rolling in the distance. It was a beautiful day. 94, but beautiful. We might be in for it. Grounding electrode number 1, number 8 continuous, grounding electrode number 2, continuous without interruption, up to a grounding location with an irreversible crimp to the number 10. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Am I gonna pass inspection this time, or go home disappointed? I'll post a comment to the top of the chat. I'm driving along here, and this is just a side out of curiosity. What is that? Amazing. These are 12 feet tall. If you're having troubles with your business, maybe you're getting slapped across state lines. Because you know, when you go across state lines, everything changes. Workers' comp changes. It's privatized in one state, and it's a public pool in another state. Your tax rate changes. How you pay and report your taxes changes. Your insurance may or may not cover you. Did you know that your insurance has a specific coverage limitation for how much inventory you have on hand at your facility, as well as how much inventory you have on a particular job site? Did you know that there is an insurance advantage having a rider on your policy that covers rental equipment as opposed to paying the rental company the insurance fee every single time. You'd save a lot, depending on the structure of your business, by adding that rider to your policy for a few $100 a year. There are so many tricks and tips. If you don't want to do it by yourself, if you want to learn from a peer group operating businesses similar to yours, then check the description. There's a plan for you. I'd love to chat and see how I can help. See you there.